When you start meditating, there is a sort of fire that is lit within you, and that fire burns everything that you are not. That entire process is the process of healing, and it can take years, decades even. It's a process. It's never linear and never the same for all of us. It's different for each one of us, and this entire journey of healing is very personal, very curated, and customized as per our needs. Do you ever really find yourself still fighting a battle that ended a long time ago? It hit me when somebody tried to compliment me because of my humor and how happy I looked, that I suddenly became very defensive. And I started narrating all the bad experiences that I've ever had and how I've healed through them. The person did not really react, but when I came back home, I was thinking to myself, was there any need to speak of something like that? When they called me lucky or anything, why exactly wasn't I able to take those compliments? Why was I making my suffering or whatever experiences I had my entire identity? Something that I had taken so long to sort of de identify myself with. I had taken years to release them, and now I was using it as a badge of honor. Was it even worth it? Was it sensible? This happened a couple of months ago, and now when I try to understand it in retrospect, it feels very childish. But at the same time, there's a time for all realizations, and I think that was mine. That I don't need to sabotage my healing, and I don't need to make my suffering a badge of honor, and I don't need to use my sadness as a shield against compliments. Let's call it that. Do you ever find yourself still fighting a battle that ended years ago, long time ago, and still struggling with those pieces of yourself that no longer serve you? Has it ever crossed your mind that maybe you've been holding on to something just because it was the only way you knew how to survive? That version of you was built to survive the negativity that you were struggling with in whatever form. And now, when you are healed, you no longer need those defenses. You no longer need maybe those paradigms. And I know what it's like to feel that you're still becoming, still reaching, still climbing, still healing. And like there's always that one more step, one more lesson to learn, and one more battle to win, one more person, place, thing to let go. And somewhere deep inside, you start wondering, if I stop, if I let go, if I become completely whole within myself, what exactly will be left of me? That is your ego. That's your ego, which is clinging on to this identity of somebody who is healing. That is how you heal the identification with the healer and the healing itself. You don't make it your entire being, you don't make it your entire identity. And it took me months to understand it because it did not even cross me until a couple of months ago. It's scary, isn't it? To think about shedding that identity that's carried you this far, the seeker, the warrior, the healer, the mystic, the mentor, and all these archetypes that we read about. The one who never gave up, the hunter. But here's the thing that I had to learn, that I am not here to keep becoming. I'm here to remember. I'm here to learn, but that is all. And when the lessons are supposed to be integrated, my higher self will make sure that I learn them and integrate them. But it is not something that I need to build my entire identity around, because I am much, much, much bigger than all this. And as a spirit, we are anyway much bigger than whatever is happening to us in the 3D reality. The fear we feel when we think about letting go, it's not about losing who we are, it's about discovering what we've always been. That still quiet part of us that does not need to fight anything or anyone, that does not need to prove anything. And when we are ready to let go, to surrender, not because we are broken, not because We know that once we surrender everything, we'll eventually get something better, or even the same thing will come back to us. But because we've actually healed, we've already healed, we don't need to keep ourselves in that loop. And maybe that's the key, You've been looking for a solution, but you are the answer that you were looking for. And it's hilarious. It's so funny. It makes me roll on the floor laughing, as they say, to think how stupid we are. So if you're tired of fighting, of trying to become, of holding on to old stories, old narratives, old ways of doing things, old identities, it's okay to let them go. And it's okay to let the letting go go. You are already home and you don't need to heal anymore. You are free. So when next time someone says that I love how happy you are, I love how beautiful you are, or gives you some really nice compliments, just accept them. Be open to accepting them. You don't have to tell everybody your story of battles. You don't have to sabotage the entire thing. Just think of it, how brilliant it is when nobody can recognize that you've suffered so much, mentally, physically, or whatever. That all they can see is the light that you radiate. But then you attach yourself too much to this identity that you cannot recognize that light within yourself, no matter what you are speaking. So remember that you are already home, and you don't need to fight anymore. Lots of love.